Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
You're like the countdown timer. So I'm going to let everyone in right at the bottom of the hour.
Okay.
You can let them in quicker than that. You let them in now if you want.
Oh, shall I start? Yeah, let me just start letting them in, and then they can see the.
Exactly.
Yeah, we got 4 people in the waiting room, so let me let them in.
I didn't know you were doing that. Black and white.
Hey, how's everybody today? Are you ready to have some fun?
Yes. Hey, Scott.
All right, listen, this is how it works. This is very different from anything you've ever been able to do. We're going to have some fun with you right now. I need everyone to make sure that their cameras are on. You need to be able to interact with what's going on today. So if your camera's not on, if you're not properly dressed, oh my goodness, it's going to be a real problem for you today because we are going to have some fun on Zoom. We're going to do some live interactive magic with you right here on the Zoom today. So to start off, Luigi and Marer, I see that you're still not quite there, but that's okay. Here's some of the rules in order to participate. First and foremost, you do need to interact, but I need everyone to mute your microphones for the first part of the show. So if you can just put yourself on mute, and then the next thing you can do is if you're watching me on the screen, in the upper right corner of my screen, you can click on, I guess it's right over here. You want to click on a little blue box and you want to pin my video to your screen. If you allow me to be pinned, that way you can actually, see what's going on the whole time. All right. So first, because you're all muted, you can't applaud. So we're going to applaud with jazz hands. Do some jazz hands like this for me. Everyone, give me jazz hands. Good, 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 good. Perfect. Next, you want to make sure that if it is really amazing, you can give me some applause. Even if it's pantomime applause, go ahead and give me some pantomime applause. Yes, yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, good. And last but not least, you do need to act amazed. So everyone give me a wow face. I can see you, so give me a wow face. Show me that you're amazed. Some of you need a little practice on that. Let's try that one more time. Act totally amazed. 1, 2, 3, go. Yes, perfect, perfect, perfect. To have some fun with you today, I brought with me the world's most absorbent sponge, known to most as the silver sponge. So absorbent it can actually suck up the entire contents of a jacuzzi. So absorbent it can actually suck up silver as if by magic. As a matter of fact, it's so good at sucking up, people bring it in to talk to their boss. All right, we're during COVID, we may not have a boss. That's all right. This is the perfect one. I like to name him Sponge Robert. It's a little more formal than Bob, but he is yellow, and he did come from the sea, I think. But I have 4 coins. These are 4 solid silver coins. These are actually silver coins from, this is a Morgan silver dollar. Can you see that? It's a Morgan silver dollar. I'll tell you what, we're just going to use the 4 right here and the sponge. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I said that this was the world's most absorbent sponge. Let's see if I'm right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 coins, 1 silver absorbent sponge, a blot and a dab, sucks up one of the coins. Oh, come on. You can give me a little round of applause there. Jazz hands or a round of applause. There you go. That's good. That's good. Now, in order to get the coin out of the sponge, all you have to do is give it a squeeze, just like this, a squeeze, and it comes right out. Just like so. Now, I know you're thinking you had no idea that that was going to happen. I'll give you another chance to catch me at what I'm doing. So here we go. We have 3 coins, 1 silver absorbent sponge. Watch closely. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. 1, 2. A blot and a dab sucks up one of the coins. To get it out, all you have to do is give it a squeeze, just like this. And it comes right out, just like so. Now, instead of having the coin get sucked up by the sponge, I'm going to have the coin go through the sponge. So the coin's going to go through the sponge. Here we go. It's going to go right through the sponge. Watch closely. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, right through the sponge. 4 coins at once this time. This is the most difficult. Let's see if you can actually catch the magician at what he's doing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, it's clogged. When it's clogged, here's what you should do. Just give it a squeeze like this, and you'll actually get the silverware right out of the sponge. Oh, come on, do I get a round of applause? Give me some jazz hands. You guys are great. You guys, I can already tell this is going to be a great show today. All right, we're going to have a lot of fun. I will need some volunteers for the crowd. I'll just call you out because I can see you on my screen. So I'll call out a few volunteers, and if you're called, please open up your mic so we can hear you. Ross, will you help me out?
Yeah, of course.
All right, Ross. I have in front of me 4 playing cards. These are jumbo playing cards, Ross. Let's say that I was to play with the 4 queens, the 4 queens. In a deck of 52 cards, there are red queens and there are black queens. I'm going to take out either the red or black. Which ones should I take out?
Red.
Okay. Of the red, you can choose either the queen of hearts or the queen of diamonds. This is a free selection. I don't want to force anything on you.
Diamonds.
The queen of diamonds. That's amazing that you should say the queen of diamonds, because I don't know if you can see this or not, but all the cards in the deck, or 4 of them, are face down except for one. That one card looks to be the queen of diamonds. Now, I know what you're thinking, but it's the only red-backed card in the deck. And really, Ross, that was your only choice because there really aren't any other queens in the deck. You got it right. Give Ross a round of applause. Yay! All right. That was pretty easy. It was only 4 cards. Perhaps we should try something with a full deck. Now, I know it's just after lunchtime. Maybe you're not playing with a full deck. In this business right now, I don't think any of us are playing with a full deck, but we'll give it a quick try. John Funk, help me out with this. Unmute your microphone for me, John. Oh, can we hear you, John? Say hello. We can't hear John. We'll try Mark Gord. Mark, will you help me out?
Yes, I will.
All right, Mark. Any card in the deck you want to name out loud, you name it out loud. That's the card we're going to use for this trick. Name any card out loud.
Ace of Hearts.
Except for the Ace of Hearts. Apparently that was the wrong mark that I had there. It's no, that's right. Ace of Hearts. Are you sure?
Unsure.
You want to change your mind?
No.
You want to keep the mind that you already have?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a wise choice. The Ace of Hearts is pretty amazing. All the cards in the deck are face down except for the Ace of Hearts. And just like before, the Ace of Hearts is the only blue-backed card in the deck. Come on, do I get a round of applause? Yay! So the hard part about this is that I am a magician, and I started as a trade show magician. I did my very first trade show my senior year of high school. So I was contemplating whether I should be a magician in trade shows or become a dentist. I think I picked the wrong thing because at least dentists are working today, right? No problem. But here was my problem in being a magician with dental tendencies. My problem was that I never really understood how to floss my teeth. I know that sounds kind of odd. Let me share with you what I mean by that. This is mint waxed dental floss. And when I was young, here's how I used to floss my teeth. I'd go, there's one tooth. That's just one tooth right there. And then I'd go for the next tooth. That would be another tooth, right? And then I'd go for a next tooth. And clearly it took me a really long time to floss. My teeth were clean, but it was a little more difficult than the normal human when it comes to flossing teeth. But good news, I discovered that if I was using mint waxed dental floss, the wax in the floss would make it stick to itself. It actually sticks to itself. This means that even though they are separate strands, all together they could become like a piece of rope, making it extremely, extremely strong. And when it comes to making trade shows, conventions, exhibit building, experiential marketing strong, it's the EDPA that's keeping us strong as a tight cord of all the people, the individuals that make up the association. That makes total sense to me. I get it. That's why we're all here. We want to strengthen each other. But if you get the mint, the wax, it actually sticks to itself like a ball. And then you can take that remaining piece and gather around the individual that needs the help or has a question. In this case, it's the floss. You can see it's just stuck right there onto the floss. And I'm going to need your help, folks. I'm going to need your help. Here's what we're going to do. Even though this is a COVID, many of us are in purple right now. You can blow towards the screen on this count of 3. You're not going to spread COVID. We don't need masks. Are you ready? I do need your help. So everyone on the count of 3, blow. Ready? 1, 2, 3, blow. It all goes back together in one piece. Yes, come on, there you go. Can you believe you're taking off time from work to watch this? We're having fun on Zoom. It's interactive. It's something fun for everybody. So I do want to make sure that I keep everyone entertained a little bit. So this time, instead of doing the trick with pieces of dental floss, I brought something that's a little bit easier for you to see. This is rope. Now there's 3 different sizes of rope. There's a small piece of rope, there's a large piece of rope, and there's a middle piece of rope. And we've got a ring. We'll get to that in just a minute. I discovered that the 3 pieces of rope could help me tell any story that I wanted to tell. And as I mentioned, I'm a trade show magician. So I need someone to open up their mic. Anyone there, Colleen maybe, or Chris or someone, open up your mic, and I need a product that I can sell with this magic trick. And I'm going to show you, bring you back to the days of trade shows when you could see this stuff live. Who wants to give me a product that I can sell?
Staplers.
Staplers. What brand?
Swingerland.
A swing line. Swing line.
Swing
Yeah.
line. That's what I meant. Yes.
Yeah. Maybe a red swing line so we could all be in the office or something.
Absolutely.
Okay. So we're going to talk about these swing line staplers. Here we go. Welcome to the Home Products Expo at McCormick Place. Of course, the thing is that when you're talking about staplers, you want to make sure that you can handle all types of stapling jobs. Some are the easy jobs of just stapling 2 pages together. Some are the big binding jobs, and that's going to take a lot more. But the whole point is, when you have the proper stapler, all the jobs should be the same. The force required pushing down onto the stapler should be the same, whether the job is large, medium, or small. And there's one company that helps you do that, and that is Swing Line Staplers. Swing Line Staplers is the one stapler that gives you the comfort of knowing that you can staple many pages or just 1 page. It's very simple because we've got the latest in stapler technology, the one that grows with you. So if you want to wrap everything up, all you need to remember is Swing Line Staplers. Swing Line Staplers come in a variety of colors. Of course, the most remembered color is the red swing line stapler. Nonetheless, when it comes to taking your job at the office, you never want to be without your swing line stapler. Yeah, you missed that. All right, I saw it. So you guys a little confused there. I'm going to make the ring go right through the rope. Are you ready? The ring's going to go right through the rope. Here we go, right through the rope. Pardon me. The staple is going to go right through the paper. That's what we were talking about. It's going to go right through. Here you go, right through. It went through. You missed it. No, all right. So here's how it works. I don't want to leave you totally befuddled here. Instead of watching the ring, don't watch the ring. Watch the ends of the rope, because logically, we're all adults here. We know that logically the ring has to come off the ends, or the ends have to come off the ring. The whole thing is now you got this linking ring routine. I'm a little confused. Just pick up your ends like this, put them right back on, and then you can be right back where you were. And that is, anytime that you want to remove a staple, you can also use the Swing Line Staple Remover. Staples are an excellent economical and ecological way to take care of fastening your paper together. It's no more mucilage, no more Elmer's white glue, no more binding. You have the latest in stapler technology from Swing Line Staplers for any print job, large, medium, or small. Hey, yo, that's a great reaction. I love that. You guys are great. You guys are really, really great. We're going to try an experiment here for you. And since this is supposed to be an interactive magic show, I'm going to show you an interactive trick that I put together just for you. Okay, so here. If you are watching me on a cell phone, you're not going to want to put your finger on the screen, because if you do, you're going to probably get yourself to read mail or go back to Facebook or something. But if you're on a computer monitor, hopefully this is big on your computer screen right now, I'm going to need your help. This is a trick that I did just 2 days ago for a company called Corteva Agriscience. Now, Corteva, you can see them in the upper right-hand corner there. Corteva it was Dow and DuPont Corporation, and they're one of my great clients. In fact, they were the one that helped me do the Guinness World Book of Records farthest teleportation of a human being from point A to point B. So that was 2 years ago. In fact, it was in the March edition of Exhibitor magazine, 8-page spread for March. I was so ready to tell everybody about this at the Exhibitor show when everything came to a crashing halt. But that's enough of my story. Let's have some fun with this quick magic trick. Everyone on your screen, place your finger on any blue square. Put your finger on any blue square. Now, we've got a bunch of people here, so I have no idea who or where you are, because your camera's above your computer, so I can't really guide you here. You're just going to have to follow along with the directions. Place your finger on any blue square. All right. Now, I want you to move your finger left or right to the nearest white square, Great. Now, I want you to move your finger up or down to the nearest blue square, up or down to the nearest blue square. Let's mix this up. Let's try going diagonally to the nearest white square. Go diagonally, catty corner, to the nearest white square. I think everyone's following along. Now move your finger either left or right to the nearest blue square. Okay, because I just told everyone to be on a blue square, I clearly know that you're on a blue square right now. You can't be on a white square, otherwise we're in trouble. But the one company that got me started with Corteva Agriscience was Pioneer Seed Company. If you're on Pioneer Seed Company, if we got it right, give me a jazz hands. Give me a yes. All right, there we go. Woohoo! You guys did it. You guys actually did the magic for yourselves. Let's try something else for you. I think this might be a great time to do a trick with just 2 playing cards. So this is very simple. It involves the Jack of Diamonds and the 5 of Clubs. The Jack of Diamonds and the 5 of Clubs. Now, I mentioned that I did my first trade show when I was a senior in high school. I'm going to tell you how old I am. That was in 1984. And then in 1992, when I got married, I said to my wife, all I want to do is trade shows. I don't want to work cruise ships. I don't want to work nightclubs. Trade shows is where we're going to be. And then Corporate Effects was born. And we grew busier than I ever thought I was going to be. More people wanted to hire a magician at their trade show than I had of me. I couldn't be in 2 places at one time. So I started Corporate Effects so that I could have more than one magician that had the same high quality and could bring large crowds of people to an exhibit. Obviously, mid-COVID, bringing people to an exhibit in large numbers is a bit of a problem. So now we're working more with traffic density, traffic maintenance, making sure that people aren't crowding up at a trade show. Because when you have enough people that you can explain the features and benefits to, then you can always turn away the ones that are not your best clients or your prospects. Can you see that it's going inside out? The card is going from inside out to outside in. I push over here, it goes outside in to inside out. Inside out to outside in. Maybe you need to see it from this side. Watch closely. Inside out to outside in, just like this. Now the problem is that we're kind of stuck in this middle point right now. I have good news for you. There's now 3 vaccines, 3. They announced a new one today that's going to be done by the end of the year. That means that there is light at the end of the tunnel. But right now we're stuck in the middle of being at trade shows, pulling people into the booth and not. And if I just freeze this moment, you'll see that what we end up having is a halfway in and a halfway out. Halfway in and halfway out, frozen in time. This card obviously fits together perfectly. But if I open up these cards in this frozen time moment, you'll see that they don't quite fit unless I turn one of them around, and then it's a perfect fit, just like that. Do we get a round of applause? Yay! It is time to play a game with you. We're all going to play a game. This is how it's going to work. I need everyone to open up your microphones. I need to hear everybody now. Everybody, I need to hear your microphones. Good.
Come on.
All right, everyone give me a hello.
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 You know what's funny is the people without their cameras on are also the ones that are totally sneaking in here with their microphones off too. They're like, I'm not participating. We're going to have too much fun if we do that. Luigi, Doug, Mary, you can open up your mics too. It's fine with me. You don't even have to show yourselves. Doug did it. All right. Peer pressure
You don't want
works.
to see me right now.
All right. So we're going to play a little tic-tac-toe with the crowd. We're going to play some tic-tac-toe. Since I am the person that gets to play, I'm going to use the circles. That's going to be me. And I'm going to choose where I'm going to go first. Now, I have 2 kids, and I know that I have a distinct advantage if I take the center square. So I'm going to take the center square of this particular thing. I need someone to yell out where we should put your cross, your X. So just give me everyone yell out where I should put your cross for this game.
Top
In the
left.
middle.
Who said top right? Someone want to John, did you say top right?
No. Top
No.
left.
Top left. I'll tell you what, we're going to start here right there. Is that good? Good.
Okay.
Play along with me. We're going to have some fun. All right. I am going to take the next move here for you, okay? Here we go. There's my next move. Oh, dropped it on the floor. There we go. All right. So, John, where should I put your next one? Your X.
To the left of the top X.
Over here on the left?
No, one over.
No, one over to the right.
Over here?
No, in the middle.
You know,
In the middle.
it's funny. It's funny how upset you get when I don't follow your directions. All right. Okay. I see. I've played this a lot myself. I see what's going on here. I have to block you, otherwise you're going to win. It'll be a 3 in a row thing, so I'm going to block you right there. Let's see. Where should we put the next one, guys?
Middle left.
Lower.
Yeah, you got to put
lower
it.
right.
You got to put it in the lower right. Otherwise, I'm going to win right away. So we'll just put it in the lower right here, like so. Good. Oh, I see. Yes, I do need to take care of this right away. I'm going to go ahead and put that one right there. Otherwise, we're going to lose. Where should you put your last X?
Middle left.
Middle left, obviously. By the way, I forgot to tell you this, but while we've been playing, I have these pictures on the back of these. This is totally weird because if you take a look, if I put this all together, I've been doing this on a clear background. There is one thing that I wanted you to remember. That is that this is interactive magic.
Hey.
Hey, you guys did it. Give yourselves a round of applause.
Go team.
Yeah, go team, go team. All right. I'm going to teach you all how to do a magic trick. You're all going to be able to do this trick when we're done. Let me put it on here like so. This is a $1 bill. I'm going to do my best to turn the dollar bill inside out for you. It's going to go inside out, okay? So watch closely. Oh, before I wanted to teach you, before I would go inside out, I want to teach you how to do this magic trick. It's very, very simple. Here's what you do, is if you want, you take a dollar bill, and you can see that George is right side up. If I fold the bill this way, and then I fold it again this way, I say the magic words, EDPA. We unfold it, and it's upside down. Okay, this is very simple. This is something you can do for your kids. Here's how it works. When I fold this side over, and I fold this top down, I then give a magical gesture, and I open it up from the back, so it's upside down at that point when I open it up. So you can do an upside down bill just like that. But I mentioned that I was going to show you how to turn the bill inside out. I can't teach you this part of it. This takes a little bit more practice. You fold the bill like so, and just as we did before, you're going to fold it up so that it never leaves their sight, obviously. Otherwise, it's kind of a stupid trick. But you fold it down so it's real small, like this. You give a little magical gesture, and just like before, you open it from the back. When you open it from the back, it turns it inside out. Look, I open up the bill, and it's inside out, just like that. Yeah, come on, give me a wow. Give me something. There we go. Woo! All right. Turn it back. You just do the same thing. You turn it inside out, just like so. And you get your dollar bill. Now, I know there's actually some more fun that you can have with that. I'm going to show you one more time how you can have a little bit more fun with this. It's real simple. I can do anything you want with a dollar bill. This is a magic show, so you get to have some fun. What would you like me to do to the $1 bill?
Turn it into $100.
Oh yeah, sure. Make it 100. That's
Good to me.
unfortunately, or fortunately, you might have more money than me. My unemployment insurance is about to run out. I don't know what to do about that. Maybe this will help. You fold up the bill just like so, just like we did before. But this time, you say, "Go away, COVID." That'd be a great magic word. We open it up, and the dollar bill changes to a $100 bill right before your eyes. Give me a yay!
Hooray.
I have to say, out of all the audiences that I have had today, you've been the first one. So I really appreciate that. Are we having a good time? Good. I wanted to stop doing the magic for a little bit and tell you what's going on. Feel free to open up your microphones here. This way you can see what I'm about to tell you about here. I've been doing a podcast called Conventional Protocol. If you are a subscriber or something to that, go ahead and raise your hand up so I know that you're listening. Anyone out there listening to it? Conventional Protocol is all about how to get up and running. Mid-COVID, post-COVID. I've had many guests on there. So far, we've had recently we had the MGM, the person that runs the MGM marketing. So that's Caesars and Mandalay Bay and all that. We had the director of Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Bureau. Last week we had a great talk with somebody that's doing the reverse virtual trade show, a reverse virtual trade show. I think this is going to be very important for all of us here. What they're doing is they're bringing in monitors that go kind of vertical instead of horizontal. And they have a camera on them. And how I found them is they were using a thermometer on there as well. So someone could walk up to there, get their temperature taken before they go into a trade show. And, that way they can say you're clear to go. But they're also putting them into the exhibits themselves so that now you don't have to fly your most important folks out to a trade show. They can actually be in the booth itself, interacting with the crowd, walking by, saying hello. You could put one person or maybe a local hired hand into the reception area. And if they want to talk with someone from engineering, you walk them over to engineering and there's one of these vertical things and they can talk to them without that person having to leave. It's sort of like I say, it's a reverse virtual trade show in the sense that when we think virtual, we're always thinking, how are we going to take that physical structure and bring it out into the virtual world? Here we're bringing virtual reality into the live thing. So if you're not already listening to Conventional Protocol, make sure you go to Apple or Stitcher or Spotify or Google Play and subscribe to that. I think you're going to be very interested. Today we released a new one. It's in-house docs or in-house physicians. They're the folks that a lot of times handle the first aid station at a trade show or at a convention hall. They have doctors, nurses, EMTs, paramedics, but now they're doing on-site rapid COVID testing and on-site rapid flu testing. So if someone turns up with symptomatic, then you can tell whether or not that's a very interesting story. I think you're going to enjoy if you actually tune into that. So let me go back and kind of show you a couple of slides here. I wanted to go from magic into a little bit of what's going on with the world of trade shows here. The best thing that we can remember here is that unlike mass gatherings and business events and exhibitions can take place under controlled environments. And so we have a really, really positive thing going on here. Shows can architect an experience in a space that's safe to do. So I think that you're going to find that when we come back to trade shows here, and I'm going to tell you that the experts that I'm talking to right now, they say that trade shows will be possible second quarter. I think that trade shows will actually be back up and running third quarter. That's at least where I'm kind of feeling from talking with the folks that are especially the venues that are doing the local regulations as well as trying to sell the space. The ramp up will be very quick. So hopefully, as you watch things open up and see things happening, hopefully you will be ready to ramp up quickly to be able to take care of our customers very, very quickly. Let me go back to where maybe I need to, I know what I'm doing. I'm going backwards on my control here. This is a slide that I used a couple of months ago, and it's an interesting way that you might be able to think, because we're all mostly exhibit designers, right? Raise your hand if you're an exhibit designer or a producer.
Great, that's me.
Okay. One of the ways that we can kind of cheat show management, instead of buying the 80 by 80 booth space, if you buy an entire row of 10 by 10 exhibits, you now have automatically built in social distancing because you have to use the aisles to go from booth to booth. That aisle becomes part of your space. So in this demonstration, in this thing, what I've done is I've put all this. This actually came from Skyline. Shout out to John Funk for this slide here. This gives you the ability to have individual stations, and you might want to buy the opposite side of the row. This way you can have all of that space and be able to social distance. It also allows you to bring out a lot of rental capability if you're doing any rentals of portables and pop-ups. If you are looking to just get up and running very, very quickly, this is a really interesting idea that I have yet to see anyone else do in presentations. So just a thought for you. Immediate extra ways to make some money that people are talking about right now is these stanchions. If you put graphics printouts on stanchions and on these things, we're going to be able to do this very, very quickly and increase some money as we all need it really, really quick. So this is a lot of what people are talking about right now to me on my podcast. The most important thing, the most important walk away from this presentation that I'd hope that you'll remember is that we've just trained the entire world how to comfortably use Zoom meetings. I never, ever had to do a Zoom magic show until this coronavirus lockdown thing happened. I've had to adapt. I've had to learn how to do this. But I'm not the only one. All of you are comfortably using Zoom right now. And if I had asked you back in January that we're going to do something like this on Zoom, you'd be asking me, how do I download it? What site do I go to? It's just natural for us. So we now have the dream of every trade show marketer, and that's timely, effective follow-up. By opening a mobile calendar while they're at a trade show, or even if they're virtually there, you can now set up a Zoom meeting for a more detailed presentation. So I think that the new norm, if we use that overly used phrase, is I don't really want to do too many live long talks with my potential customers, my prospects. I want to get them to say that I will be on a Zoom with you on Tuesday. So that way I know I have a follow-up built in that's comfortable for them. So using the Zoom meetings right now, it's going to help you get a higher return. And that's really going to be good news for us when we're showing them how much more valuable these live trade shows are than this virtual hybrid thing that we've been doing. You still need to attract the visitor, give them a reason to engage. Lower attention may seem like, or lower attendance may seem like a problem, but of course and I know to sell it to my customers, I'm going to sell them more qualified leads. It's a percentage game now. It's not a head count. Staggered admission is going to give you more focused time. The last day of a trade show, that third day when everyone's looking to get out of there, is finally redeemed now because the trade show is going to limit the amount of people coming onto a show floor. What this slide is showing you right here is I'm trying to give you the positives for the negatives that we're going to be thrown here as we go back into the world of trade shows. The meaningful content will be greater appreciation. And if you are able to entertain people, if you are able to use what I do, a little bit trade show magic in the booth to help you with the traffic density and that kind of thing, it's going to release a little bit of that responsibility from the sales staff on the trade show floor. It's still going to be fun. Let's try a quick experiment. Open up your mics. Give me your favorite commercial from this last Super Bowl.
Don't know.
A complete blank.
Okay. Give me your favorite commercial from any Super Bowl.
The Apple commercial when they introduced the Mac.
Oh, wow. 1984. That was great.
Bud Light with the clown walking upside down and he shoves the bottle in his butt.
So here's what's interesting. This past year, obviously, it's been really tough for us with COVID. We've had to just, everything's changed. But even before all this happened, the Super Bowl was dealing with racial issues, with not even able to find an act for halftime. People were backing out and sponsors were afraid. They didn't want to be associated with the NFL because of the Kaepernick thing that was going on. And they really tried not to give you their best ads. They really just wanted to hold their spot. This reminds me a lot of trade shows. Often you do a sponsorship or you buy extra advertising so you get a higher spot for the next year to get a better booth space. We've just gone through what the Super Bowl went through, an unmemorable, crummy year of advertising using virtual trade shows. This won't be remembered. What will be remembered are the fun that they have when they look back on a trade show that they were at live. If it's from 1984 or a clown walking upside down, these are from years past and they're still memorable because they were entertaining and fun. And if we do the same thing as we open up these trade shows, conventions, and things, we're going to increase your memorability and your effectiveness. So hopefully with a smile on our face, we're going to be able to do the same thing for trade shows as we go on. When it comes to giveaways, email gift cards instead of handing out things and prizes. Let us send you a prize instead of giving you a prize that you have to worry about bringing home and you have to worry about disinfecting right now. The nice thing is that if you have a prize that's, say, a $50 prize, and you have 4 really good prospects, you don't need to tell the other 3 people that you also gave away 4 prizes, not just 1. And it really makes that customer feel special that they won the prize from you. And obviously will open up that two-way communications. You need to insist on shorter, tighter presentations with a focus on a single message. A TED-type talk now with a tight time frame is going to be way more important than an offhand kind of presentation. So for me, as a trade show magician, this means that I'm going to do shorter amounts of magic tricks. I'm going to do 2 or 3 magic tricks, not a full 15 minutes worth of magic tricks, in order to get the message across. Capture, educate, and release the crowd for a follow-up using QR codes to get them more information and that kind of thing. So the traffic flow is all my responsibility. I'm going to have to totally worry about that. I need to give people, when you're designing a booth as an exhibit designer, please remember this. If you have to commit to walking in and following a set path to a booth, I'm going to feel trapped. Because station 1 or station 2, I may have discovered that your solution is not the right solution for me. And if I have to go through another minute or 2 or 5 minutes in a booth to get out of the booth because it's a one-way path, I'm going to have a negative feeling about that exhibit. Open, approachable stations from any side that gives people a feeling that they can exit is going to be a really great plus as we design these booths post-COVID and mid-COVID. So, you know, again, you want timing for crowd flow instead of big crowds, shorter presentations, and good news for me, if you hire a professional, I can stand there all day long doing this. And obviously, saying the same thing over and over and over again may be tiring to you, but it's a normal day in the life of a trade show for me. So hiring the professionals are going to be a real plus. Speaking of hiring professionals, I mentioned it earlier. It's going to be difficult to send C-level executives and your top salespeople every time on an airplane. So hiring local talent is going to be very, very important for them. What we used to call booth babes, brand ambassadors, trade show staffers, they're going to become one of the most valuable things in your quiver right now to give to your customers. So to be able to give them someone that's local, that can help with traffic density and traffic flow, that can get them to the right person, get them to scan a QR code and get that Zoom meeting for later on, you don't necessarily need the C-level executive. What you need is a $500 a day trade show staffer that can do that for you. Now remember, if you're going to spend $300 on an airfare and then have them eat and fly and everything else, $500 a day is a bargain. Now I started another company out there. You're more than welcome to check it out. It's called Event Staffing Direct. Event Staffing Direct. No more middleman. You go on eventstaffingdirect.com and you can hire event staffers directly. This means that normally an event staffer would they'd charge you $600 a day to hire a staffer. And that staffer, she gets about $300 a day. The agency is taking a literally 50% cut of what they're earning. So if I could give you a direct connection to the staffers, they could charge you $400 or $450 a day. It'll cost you less than going through an agency, and they're going to be more committed to you because they're trying to build up their customer base. It gives them more money that they're making than if they were going through the agency. So it's a place where you can connect directly. It's eventstaffingdirect.com. I hope you check that out because that's, I think, for me, one of my new, that's really going to be something great as we go into trade shows here. Here's how I would do a socially distanced 10 by 10 exhibit. If I was to do a 10 by 10, instead of putting my pop-up at the back wall, I'd put it pretty much dissecting the booth. That gives me two distinct areas to do presentation and a place for someone to be at a receptionist desk. Obviously, this is an island type situation, but you could also put it vertically through the booth so you have, set the booth off on both sides. Banner stands work well in this way too. Okay, but now I'm able to socially distance and separate people in a 10 by 10. In a big booth, if I'm going to do a theater style presentation, I'm going to put circles, large circles on the floor, and those circles are going to be 6 foot in diameter. So I have the people that are 3 feet, from the border of any border, and the other person is 3 feet from any border. Movable chairs or pods, so that people that are in a group together that aren't afraid of being socially distanced can move themselves into a circle, and then they now have the ability to be with their friends. Remember, when you're designing a live presentation, that height equals distance as well. So if I need to stay 6 feet away from people and I have a 3 foot riser, I'm already 3 foot away from the nearest person. So I can get a little bit more space by giving people that vertical density. And of course, outside is going to be a really important thing, especially this next summer. Putting in a pop-up stand like this, where you can have each side is literally 6 feet or 5 feet long, gives someone from the center the ability to interact with a person one-on-one with enough ventilation. I think this is going to be seen a lot right now. So if you don't already have a bead on how to make one of these or get one, this is going to be a hot seller, I think, in 2021. So I'm now shameless self-promotion. My Face the Event podcast is at, there's a link there. I'll send it out so that you guys see it on our LinkedIn page or, whatever. The Corporate Effects Trade Show Magic Group, that's me, corporateeffects.com. And eventstaffingdirect.com is my new venture to connect staffers directly with the exhibitor or with you. So I would love to open up your mics. I hope you've enjoyed. I did a magic and I did a quick presentation. I hope that was not boring. I hope that was fun. Good. Thank you. Any questions? Because I mean, I got my GBAC certification as a GBAC technician, and I got my COVID safety officer training, so I can be on movie sets and television sets and things. Well, not on a television set, that would be kind of uncomfortable. But on a set where they make television shows, and be their safety officer to make sure things are going well. And the information that I've been able to gain from that. Going back also into my old days when I was an emergency medical technician, I probably at least in our group, because I'm dealing with it almost every day, probably have some answers that you would love to know. So fire away, ask me questions.
All right, how did you do that $100 trick?
Okay, so what it takes is about 12 years of hard work, self-denial, and a resistance to all alcohol. So I hope that's okay with you.
I'm disqualified.
Okay, all right. Hey, anyone there have any great things that they're doing mid-COVID, post-COVID? Would anyone like to be on my podcast? Would you like to shamelessly self-promote yourself? I'd love to connect you. I'm looking for people for the podcast. So we actually had one of the people that I interviewed was a company that was doing now the dispenser stations for hand sanitizers, for advertising, put your advertising on it, and hand sanitizer stations. So I'm looking for anything. If you're doing something, let me know. I'd like to put you on.
Scott, yeah. As some people have probably seen on LinkedIn, I'm going from exhibit design into furniture and cheese board designs. And if you'd like to have me on your podcast, I'd be happy to talk about how I learned how to design exhibits by building cheese boards.
Great.
And
Great.
I'm not joking on that.
Send me an email. I mean, I have to do 52 shows a year, so
Okay.
I need as many people to help me out as possible.
Very good. I'll do that.
Awesome.
By the way, is anybody in need of a gift for Christmas? Because I have these cheese boards for sale.
Of course, we all are. You need to put that on our LinkedIn or something so we can all see them.
Oh, they're on LinkedIn.
All right.
Spinning them out slowly one by one.
Awesome. What is your favorite cheese, Doug?
Probably a blue cheese.
Yeah. Mine are bad jokes.
Although the best thing is I just did a cheese board that was from the lid of a wine barrel that I dished out a little bit to hold a burrata that my wife absolutely loves. And the wine board is all French white oak, and it's still wine stained on the inside, which is I think quite spectacular. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Riches? You've seen it.
Yeah, can you share it now? I've seen it on LinkedIn. Can you share the picture, or are you not?
Oh, give me 30 seconds.
Okay.
While he does
his
that,
chairs as well. He's got his chair. Makes these really cool chairs. I don't know if you've seen them on LinkedIn. The Adirondack chairs that he designs and fabricates.
I did post that commercial link if anybody wants to see it, so don't think I'm crazy.
by the way, guys, I am looking for some easy gigs too. I've been doing this a lot for folks as virtual cocktail hours and things like that. If you've got a customer or if you've got an association or something, please contact me. I'd love to do a virtual magic show for your other groups and maybe pick up a few extra bucks for myself. So I certainly am not ashamed to say I need the work too.
Oh, damn, it's not going to do that.
Oh, look at that. It's going invisible. You're a magician.
Yeah, I guess I am.
Look at that, Doug.
You got to turn your background off.
And mute, stop. Oh, geez, I don't know how to do that.
Under the video.
Ah! Speaker view, recording, hang on, I got a way to do it. If you let me share the screen, and I don't mean to hijack the show.
Well, I finished early, so that means that we can, all talk and drink and whatever else.
Okay.
Much time drinking.
Okay, let me get organized here. I'm sorry, I'm doing this on the fly.
No problem at all.
Doug, I just made you a co-host. I don't know if you needed that to be able to share your screen.
Okay, and bingo. Did that show up? Did we see it?
Hey,
there
there
it
you
is.
go.
Okay, so just a little bit. Designers got to keep designing. So I opened up a wood shop in my garage, and I'm building furniture. And some of the things I'm doing, trying to peddle and enjoy Christmas, is building these boards, these cutting boards, charcuterie boards, and gift boxes, small wooden jewelry, memento boxes, as well as larger furniture. Building. Actually redecorating my entire house in mid-century modern furniture that I've built, or slowly. I did a beautiful desk for my wife.
That's awesome. Well done.
Well, thank you. Ooh, hang on. Hang on. I can show you a few other things. Here is, okay. Screen. It's not. not doing it.
So that means you have to build a website. What you're saying?
Well, I'm all over Facebook. I'm all over Instagram. I'm trying not to spend money right now. I'm sorry, guys. Check me out on LinkedIn, and you'll see it. I'm posting every other day, doing chandeliers, doing lighting, doing furniture, doing a lot of stuff. Steve, I know you've seen some of it. I think you have too, Vince.
I've seen it. I can tell you're not a sales guy, because if you're a sales guy, you would have already been prepared with it. You're a designer, which is refreshing. That you're not.
Well, I can't go into sales, Steve. I went to college.
I have a question for Chris, if I may. So, Chris, I know you're like really dialed in with with the Washington, going to Washington with all the lobbying type stuff, and I know Kevin Carty sent out a letter to getting people to sign to reach out to our representatives and all this stuff. But I was just wondering, as like an organization for trade shows, do we actually have I don't know how this works, but like dedicated lobbyists to address like our things, kind of like the airline industry does or tobacco industry does, and if not, then would it make sense to try and put resources together to find people like that?
So that's a great point. And the answer is yes, we do. And really nobody in our industry had dedicated lobbyists before this year. I think even in the beginning of this year, we all were surfing in the wake of the U.S. Travel Association, which, by the way, is the largest lobbying group in the United States. So that's how it began. And then when Freeman started the Go Live Together Coalition, there was about 10 financial inputters to that, shareholders. EDPA was one of them. So we Go Live, really, we hired our own professional lobbying firm. The purpose of Go Live Together, which many of you guys know that name, it was not a formal 501c nonprofit. It really was a campaign to drive economic recovery dollars, hopefully to our industry. EDPA is part of that. We made a significant contribution. That is evolving. So I think everybody, this was back, guys, this came together when the virus first came out. If you remember, we all thought we were going to be home for the month of April, right? And back to work in May. Well, we now know what a sustained effort that this is. So we know it was great that we were able to secure things like PPP loan funding. We were part of the getting the EIDL loans. If any of you owners on the call got that, we got some EIDL money. There's still ongoing efforts. I'm told right now by the lobbyists, so Brownstein, who we've hired with under the Go Live Together Coalition, is telling us that there is as much a rush right now for the PPP forgiveness applications as there was for the initial requests. We're also working with another group led by T3 Expo. You guys maybe remember the name Champion Exposition. So a lot of the guys that sold that company, T3 Expo, working with another lobbying group called Cassidy. We've had a lot of success with them. Those guys actually were key in writing the PPP loan language. There is a round 2 that's been sitting both in the Senate and the House the hardest hit industries and companies that get hit will, the principle is that we'll get a second pass at another PPP loan. Unfortunately, that we felt very good about that back in July, even in August. And unfortunately, what happened is those dollars got sort of sucked into the vacuum in the election cycle as neither side wanted to agree with the other side and maybe make the other side look good. The really maddening part is that there remains $134 billion left over from PPP round 1. And there's $500 billion of unused dollars, unassigned dollars, in a program called the Main Street Lending Program. And Congress is, both sides are sort of holding that hostage. They could release those monies that have already been voted on by House and Senate. They've already been approved by the president. and the money is sitting there, and we're desperate to try and have those released to the hardest hit companies. By the way, it's been approved. If your company is down 35% or more in sales this year, if you have fewer than 300 employees, we qualify for access to those products. PPP right now would be a repeat, the exact same criteria. If you've got any of those loans, that's what the criteria for the next round is. So they would, at least now, it would be 2.5 times what your average monthly payroll cost was in 2019. The problem is, as this now if this goes after the lame duck Congress and we're into 2021, now you have to sort of rewrite some of that language, because a lot of the bill that's been written and we're just waiting to get rubber stamp approved. Some of those covenants expire when the year expires. So you're going to hear soon, Go Live Together is now going to be rolled under a brand new coalition called the ECA, the Exhibitions and Conferences Alliance. It will be made up of all the alphabet soup associations, CISO, the Independent Show Organizers, ESCA, EDPA, International Association Venue Managers. The ask right now is to raise $600,000 to fund the 2021 advocacy and PR campaigns for our industry. We're at $400,000 in commitments. EDPA has our Access Conference coming up in a couple of weeks in San Antonio. Our board will be voting on what dollars we can allocate for that. So long way to say, Vince. We are already engaged with lobbyists. And I cringe at that term. I'm trying to transition us to using the term government affairs, because if you say lobbyists, you get a 97% condition negative response from people. And what I've learned this year, and believe me, guys, it's new to me. This role is new to me. I learned, years ago that attorney is another word for language expert. I have 7 union contracts, right? So I've learned I need somebody smarter than me to help me with that language. A lobbyist knows the process on Capitol Hill. They don't go get us money. They get us meetings with people, policymakers that and their staff that allow us to go in and tell our story. So it's a lot of work, but we're fighting. Our industry, as you guys know, is in a coma right now. And we didn't fall off a building. We didn't get hit by a car. We were put in this coma as our government asked us all to shut down. And unfortunately, we're the first ones asked. We'll be the last ones to open. We're considered a phase 5, large gathering group. And I totally agree with Scott. The experts we're talking to, the economists I'm talking to, we're probably looking at another 6 months of a pretty soft market. And when Scott says third quarter, I think what he means, and I would agree, is we're talking about sort of meaningful, sustainable, consistent shows. You'll see some shows. Orlando, for example, has PowerGen and Distributech are supposed to co-locate in April. The big plastic shows happening here in May. That's great, but those are just a couple shows, and we all can't fund our businesses off of an occasional show, right? We need consistency, and I think Scott's nailed it. Third quarter.
Chris, if I could jump in here real quick. I think that something that's really difficult is people always ask, when are we going to get back to where we were? Unfortunately, 2019 was an incredible year. I mean, it was literally one of the best years in all of our company. There's no way we could go through what we just went through and be immediately back into 2019. We're going to be back into 2014, something like that. It's for a while. We're going to build ourselves back up there. So when we say get back to normal, normal might be a few years ago normal, not immediate normal like this. And yeah, everyone that I've talked to, and Chris, I guess you're kind of confirming, is like in 2022, looks like we're going to have, CES and things like that happening again,
Well, to give you some perspective, you remember the hit our industry took, some of you that have been around a while, after the 9/11 incident. Nobody wanted to travel or fly. Tori Barnes at U.S. Travel told me it was 4 years just that window, it took us to get back to, sort of the pre-recession before 2001 activity level. And, this is obviously significantly more impactful what we've been experiencing than what we experienced then. So, I don't say this to be I don't even mean this in a negative way. It will never be what it was from the standpoint of virtual event. And our industry says virtual. We got to stop using that word. I was talking with a couple of social media influencers, and these are millions of followers, and they said, when you say virtual to us, we think about the mask, right? The fake environment. That's what we're really talking about is digital, right? The digital events, the live. This is a live event. Scott's live, right? We're doing it online. So the digital events are never going away. They absolutely will be part of the live in-person events, which I know will come back. The human condition, guys. That's the good news. We need each other. It's the human condition demands that, but it won't be. I don't believe what it was. It will be now. A hybrid of these. Why wouldn't a CES or NAMM show there in Southern California? If you're going to have Gibson guitars, if there's normally 50,000 people at NAMMs and their goal is to get 2,500 people in the booth, why wouldn't they have a meeting room in addition to the booth down the hall and have their celebrity spokesperson plus the CEO of the company launch, some new products or whatever, and get 10, 12, 15,000 people to tune in for that 45 minutes. In addition, now what you're doing is you're extending the return on your live event investment. I think that's what you're going to see, when we talk about hybrids, digital components to these live events.
Think of an Apple product launch.
Yeah, exactly. And by the way, I don't think shows will be what come back first. I think you'll see proprietary branded events. It might be a user conference type of thing, or it will be a product or a brand launch of some kind. It's funny. I don't know what my company's going to look like. I don't know that we're going to be here much longer. I don't know that we can, I'm like you guys, I'm paying for 2 big box facilities in Orlando and Vegas right now. And we haven't done any work for 8 months. By the way, Scott, if you send me those 4 coins and that dollar, I can actually double my sales this quarter. So it would be great if you could send that. But you know what? Once we go through the shock and awe, and I think we're through it, once we go through the anger and the frustration and the denial, and some of us are still there, and once we get to the acceptance of what's happening, I mean, the entrepreneurs on this call, what we do is we start seeing opportunity, right? So you look around and you go, it's not even a pivot. How do I read the market based on what this new reality is? And then once you figure out your thing, guys, go get it, right? That's what we do. We innovate. You know that 50% of all the jobs in the US, and this is a fact, come from small and mid-sized businesses. Half the jobs in America. I mean, we're where the engine's going to come from. By the way, this is the song I'm singing with every congressional staffer and legislative affairs director that I'm talking to, because, we are 6.5 million employees in the trade show and corporate event lane. Double that when you add sporting events and Broadway shows and other types of live events. We're 5 times the size, employee-wise, 5 times the size of the U.S. auto industry. And they've never heard of us. It escapes me. They don't know we're an industry. So part of the frustration this year is Dasher and I and our teams have just been educating them about who we are. My new mission for 2021, as I continue as the chair of advocacy, is we've gone from advocacy and action. We did exhibition stay or an occasional event. I think we need to be advocacy as a habit. That's going to be our new thing. We've got to reach out and invite your local representatives to your showrooms or to a show floor and walk. I mean, imagine inviting them to see Scott in a booth at a show and introducing there, and then go to a showroom and then go visit a setup day and let them realize all the pieces that go into this in their state and go, yeah, we need your support. Invite a newscaster, invite a reporter. We have a member doing in St. Louis doing an interview tomorrow with a Wall Street Journal business reporter. Next week, there's 5 Massachusetts companies sitting down for an interview with the Boston Globe. So here's the good news. We've learned to sort of talk about ourselves and do it in a way that's hopefully putting some pressure on the policymakers. So it's a tough slog, guys, I know, but this is what we do, right? It's our careers.
So Chris, are you going to run for Congress at some point and be our like advocate from the industry on Capitol Hill? I think you'd be perfect for that.
As much as I appreciate the kind words, Steve, just between us girls, can I say, who in their right mind would want that job?
That's true.
Who would want to put their families through that, right? Who would want to, I think the work would be fascinating. It would be incredible.
Hey, at this time, I'll take any job I can get.
Right, exactly.
But we need to find somebody from the industry to run for Congress and be our like advocate in Congress that's lived in our industry for like 20 years. Somebody to go and do that.
Heck, we need a senator.
Yeah, right.
I will Congress, tell you, and then we can get.
So this new coalition, this new Exhibitions and Conferences Alliance will be hiring a full-time employee. We start interviewing next month, required to live and work in DC. The thinking is we can maybe reduce some of the spending on professional lobbyists, use them as needed, but have a full-time person, somebody that's got to know Capitol Hill and how things work. And you're right. Paying attention to who, I'll tell you right now, if money is what your company needs as low interest working capital loans and such, there are 19 people on the Senate Small Business and Entrepreneurship Committee, and there's 10 Republicans right now and 9 Democrats. Man, we got to learn who those people are. Those are the people we got to talk to, in this area. Every person, and by the way, the other thing I've learned is Congress people and senators only want to talk to people from their state and district. That's why the Massachusetts people are talking to the Boston Globe. I'm spending a great deal of time interacting with Senator Marco Rubio. By the way, he's the chairman of that Senate Small Business Committee. Senator Rick Scott's frustrated me. He's a guy that says no more. He's a Florida senator, Republican. He doesn't believe we should keep running up the debt, which I believe, but you're hanging 6.5 million of my friends by saying that. So you put us in this coma. And, just like professional doctors, when you do that, I'm expecting you to responsibly treat us and bring us out of it. Because, after a year of this, guys, what's our cognitive skills as an industry going to be like? Right? What's our muscle atrophy going to feel like? I'm terrified that many of those builders on the show floor, the experienced carpenters, these guys are punching out. We already had an aging workforce. Colleen and I spent a great deal of time talking about that in meetings. Average age is between 56 and 58 years old. Some of them are just going, screw it, I'm not doing it anymore. Now we got 25-year-old, apprentices that I promise you, if you're building that big booth for Pioneer again, Scott, or that exhibit house is, they better plan an extra day of labor to set up the same booth, because we're going to have a lot of new, inexperienced people. And so that's the next fight we have once shows do come back. I know that's not a pressing issue, but we're thinking about that now. I know this is why you guys support EDPA. I mean, I'm talking to the choir here. You guys are active members, all of you, but it's I've never been prouder, and my money's never been spent better, in my opinion, than my EDPA memberships and my EAC memberships. It's a very reasonable spend because you get guys like me for free up there right now, singing our song and telling our story. So sorry, can you tell I'm kind of amped up about the need to do? I'm so angry at our elected officials, but
the whole world is there.
But you know what? We have to. Forward is the only direction, guys. We just have to keep doing. So forgive me, I know I sound like a broken record, but when you see emails from Dash or me, and it's please write another letter, please. We just got to stay up in their face. We can't, because I fear the longer this goes on, the easier it is to just not pay attention to us, and we just can't let that happen. We just can't. And by the way, I'm as concerned not just about unemployment, but I'm calling it what about underemployment. How about the designer? John Funk's got a team of designer and art production people, right? So maybe they're making $50,000 or $60,000 a year. I know that's what a good one in Orlando makes. The one that I'm thinking of is now working in the Universal Studios gift shop, doing those images in the computer for those little holograms where you get your face put on a little crystal prism, right? Minimum wage. I got a warehouse manager who's on at the Amazon warehouse here for $15 an hour. They're making half of what they were for their family's income. And yet, this is what I'm saying to the senators. You're counting that as new jobs, and you're saying unemployment's down to 7.5%. I'm saying that's not a real job. It is a job, so I get it, but it doesn't tell the whole story. The truth is we lost 23 million jobs in the U.S. with the pandemic. Half of them are still gone. So whatever new, Uber Eats job you get, or the new drive-through economy they talk about, or the new, what you're doing to get by isn't telling the story. They're acting like those are jobs, but it's not fixing the families. It's not slowing down, yours or my dipping into savings or retirement funds. So we just got to keep being loud about that, guys. My 2 cents.
Well, good job, Chris.
Yeah.
Thanks for everything you do.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. That was pretty cool. Good job today.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay,
Hey, if you got any
this was a
friends that want
great,
magic,
Scott.
let me know. I need to do more of these.
Maybe you should
Yes,
come
thank you.
up to Washington and do some magic up there and make some of these people disappear so we can replace
Oh man, I'll tell you what, I am working on that incantation right now.
Well, thanks, Scott. Thanks for the presentation today. It was really good, and we'll have a recording of it on the website if you guys want to share it with anyone that couldn't make it today. So I know we had a few signups that didn't log in. We're not going to have our happy hour in 2 weeks because it's the same time as Access, but then we'll have a speaker on the 17th. It's a very interesting guy who has done a lot of digital and live events for the Olympics and Grammys and stuff like that. So he's going to give, seems like a good presenter. He's going to present for December. Then we're in the new year, we're going to continue doing our first Thursday of the month. We'll do a happy hour. And then the third Thursday, we'll have a speaker. So we want to keep doing this. We're going to keep doing it as California. The Northern California board is pretty much everyone's gone out of the industry except Melinda. She's the only one that's left. So she's kind of taking over as president. So we're going to continue as EDPA California with myself, Doug, Ross, Boy, and Vince. So glad you guys could all join us today. Trying to hang in there as much as we can.
Well, Steve, if you need any help, feel free to tap me. I'm here to help out.
Thanks, Scott. Really appreciate it. Okay. Well, bye, everyone.
Great. Thanks.
Bye.
Thanks. Take care.